glam. And thank you, D. He let it go a little bit longer for us, Chanel.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
I feel good when I hear it. It just lifts me up to know.
I know.
You know what I mean? Just that beat and that up tempo, and just to know that it's giving us affirmation that we are glamorous.
Yes.
We are still glamorous women. We are still glamorous girls. We are glamorous in every area. So it's a good day. It's lovely. How y'all doing?
Wonderful.
Fabulous.
Darlene over there multitasking. I know when you multitask.
Listen, I'm making me some tea so I can hang out with y'all a little bit longer. I always give these women an hour of my time every Saturday, so I figured.
Yeah, it's all good though. But but do your thing, girl, because there's a lot going on. But it's still a great God day. So let's introduce ourselves. I'm Wyoming.
I'm Peg.
I'm Charlene.
Oh, and you are. We can't hear you, darling.
Kathy.
No. You back on, Kathy? Girl.
Okay, now I'm Kathy.
Okay.
We love our movie star, Kathy.
It's all good, but
glam.
I know, right? Exactly.
But
thank you, Kathy. We know you're sitting in today for our lovely sister who is out, Linda. She's out today.
Yeah.
And always, Linda, sending you love, hugs, and kisses. But thank you, Kathy. You outside, girl. You know you're always there for us. So we thank you, girl.
Yeah, I always look forward to coming on, too. It's fun.
Yeah, girl. You've been rolling. So I know it's a lot going on in all of our lives. So we're going to do a sister check-in, what's happening right about now. So let me see who's been the busiest.
Yeah.
Look, it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo at this point.
All of us.
Yeah.
All of us. Okay, there is no... You've been busy. You ain't been busy. You ain't been busy. You been busy? No.
I think we're working harder now than ever. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what that is, but I was telling someone the other day. It seemed like our lives is just a fast track. All of a sudden, everybody's doing something, and not just one thing.
Yeah.
A couple of things.
So
we can handle. But Peggy, I'm gonna start with you, darling. How have you been, and what's going on? What's really going on?
Oh wow! Let me tell you. What can I say? But just trying to maintain this coolness, stay cool, okay? Stay focused. And just been working. I had a big project last week. I declutter.
Oh, that's what you did talk about.
Declutter.
Peggy, I'm coming to your house and I got proof. I need the proof on it.
That's a full-time job. Let me tell you something.
Did you throw away stuff? Did you really?
You don't realize how much stuff you have because it's in the closet, right? But when you open that closet, be careful. You be surprised what you see. So that's what I've been doing. And I feel so much better.
Yes, it's something
makes
about
a difference.
that. Yes,
it does.
Don't you feel lighter? It does weigh on you physically. People don't believe we got too much stuff. I'm like, I just want to.
You know what else I did as well? I decluttered my emails. I had too many emails, and to the point that it was choking. So I declutter, and when I did that, I even felt like 100% plus.
Did you? I got to try that.
Oh,
I'm
beautiful
not
feeling.
Else I got.
I just close my eyes, delete.
I know, because sometimes you feel like you're an email hoarder. You just keep things that you don't really need. I may need that later. Why? And I think that's a habit. Even I have that. I'm like, I may need that later. Let me keep it.
Yeah,
no, get rid of it.
This is the attitude that I have. My attitude is, if it's that important, it'll come back around a second time.
That's good.
That's mine. And but they got an email sorter. One of my girls, she was sharing on Facebook where they can actually take all your important emails that got attachments to it and put them in a bucket, and those that are basically sales letters and put that in a bucket.
Wow.
I'm looking for that. I'm going to look for that.
Check that out. Let me know.
Because a lot of them are hanging around with spam in it, so it'll be good for us to have something like that. So
exactly.
So in the meantime, in between time, Kathy, girl, where are you these days? We've been seeing you. Charlene said she just saw you and stuff. What's going on, Kathy? Because we can't keep up.
Stop.
Yeah. Hey guys. Yeah, okay. I just flew in. No, I didn't. But anyway, so what I was going to tell you is that I just finished a movie in Lynchburg, Virginia. So it should be coming out in December called Eleanor's Bench. And I've submitted for other projects. So I've been busy working on submissions and all of that. In addition to that, I'm very interested in the political scene here in Prince George's County. So I've been working a lot with our delegates, Remy Doulier, Walla Belay, and Jamila Woods. And as you all know, early voting starts on July 7th. And all of our candidates need help at the polls. So if you all could spend, I guess you could say, take like an hour or two out of your time to contact those three ladies. I'm also working with Mahasan El-Amin for re-election. She's coming up for re-election for clerk of the courts. So I'm busy with that. I feel that change happens in the community level. So I'm very interested in working with our community. And of course, Aquaspin. I'm still doing Aquaspin. I hope y'all will come
there. God knows, girl. I am so wanting to. I'm
coming, there. Kathy. I'm coming.
Yeah. Okay. I got to be a little more disciplined in that. But Kathy, we'll talk offline about that because I really think I need to get in that.
Yeah. Okay. Let me just tell you, because I am filling in for Linda and health and wellness. So I will tell you, one of the ladies in my class in my Aquaspin class reported to me on Thursday that because she's been spinning her cardio, working on her cardio, her heart rate has come up. And by September, she says she's looking for good news from her doctor and she won't need a pacemaker, y'all. A pacemaker.
Wow, beautiful.
That's awesome. That's a good health news right there.
That makes me want to go do spinning something.
No, I definitely want to do that. So Kathy, we're going to make that happen. I'm trying to get these lazy ladies to come go with me, but
she has
Yeah, and right now, because of Prince George's County, because of the COVID restrictions have lifted a bit, now you all can drop in over at Allentown, where I work, for $9.50. And I'm there on Monday. I'm there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8 a.m. and 9 a.m.
Okay, that's a good plug. That's a good plug.
Maybe we could do that for my birthday month in August, and we just do it for 30 days or four times.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do something.
Yeah, since it's Wyoming's birthday month too, so both of y'all, and it's Linda's birthday month too.
Yep,
and then Peggy could come on too, even though hers is in November. All right.
So we do it August through November. We do it August through November, and we only have to come once a week, right? Once a week.
Right. If y'all just come once, that'll be good.
Okay. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, I'm challenging you ladies. I'm challenging.
And thanks for supporting our sisters. As I mentioned, I've been decluttering my house, right? My room. So I got that out of the way. I decluttered all my emails. I'm now be able to support our sisters. I'm coming out next week. Okay?
Oh, great. Yeah, and especially all the sisters need help with people at the polls, to pass out their information. But I'm going to tell you, I'm just saying, everybody that can listen to me, read up on these people that are running for your various offices. There's a lot of amazing people out there doing amazing things that are working for the community. So before you go in for early voting, which starts on the 7th, make sure that you read up on these people or go to a panel discussion or a forum so you can get information and make it educated, because it's important.
It really is, Kathy. I mean, on anyone, wherever your jurisdiction may be, where you live, your locale, just vote. This is the year that we have to vote. We know where we are politically, Charlene, when it comes to 2024 and the Dems and whoever you're going for, independent, the GOPs, whoever you're going for. This is the time now that we need to look at what we want our future to look like. And we are the people who can make that change. And we have to start right here on 4SistersLIVE. We're going to be pushing about go out and vote, people. Why is it so important for us to go out and vote? So, Charlene, I know you out there in the trenches, you're doing your thing. Tell us how important, what are you doing, and how are things going on out there in them streets?
In them streets. Well, I haven't taken a backseat to my political things with everyone, but I had to because I have my own job, which I'm like, oh my gosh, but it is definitely political. You know, Tanji, the Honorable, yes, was just. I mean, I just want to cry. Like,
yeah, that's a wonderful thing. That was that was such an awesome.
Miss Jackson, you know, the
Yes.
Honorable Miss Jackson is sitting right there on the highest court in the world. So congratulations to her. So
yes.
And so some of the things that I do, it relates to what we do in legislation, but of course I'm not into politics at that extreme, but whatever, oh my God, whatever I did this week was enough for me to say, I don't need to do anything for the whole year, because it's a lot of work. And when you work behind the scenes, whether it's political, corporate, it takes a lot. It takes a lot of research. It takes a lot of time and energy. So this week I'll just say I put my time in. And it was very tiring, but it was so fulfilling to know that, you know, God would make room for your gifts. And he did just that. So very excited. But, you know, got other things I got going on. Kathy, you'll be proud to know. I'll just say I will be in a movie. So I got to gain some weight, because somebody told me that I am thinning. And I'm like, I believe you, because I eat healthy. And I can see when I eat super healthy, my face thin. So I have to gain weight for this particular role. So I'll tell you.
Neat.
Yes.
Hey, why? I think it's time for us to get some signatures before they get too hot, right?
I mean, really, I'm listening and I'm like, okay, we're going to have some movie stars right amongst us in the next couple of weeks.
But
wow.
Out of face, they're like, no, Charlene, your face used to be fuller. And I'm like, okay, but I'm not eating the stuff I used to eat before. So I'm be thick. I'm be thick. Okay. I'm be a little thicker. So anyway.
Well, honey, they had to pay me to get thick, thin. I don't get, look, pay me, because that's a shame. But no, I was just kidding. But the point, no, not really. But the other thing, no, but I'm telling you, when you're beginning to make a change to anything when it comes to your body, definitely seek doctors, you know.
Oh, my doctor said you need to gain some weight because you're getting younger and you need muscle. And so I do know that I have to lift weights and things like that. So I'm okay with it. I mean, I can use the extra 10 pounds all in the right places, of course. But yeah, no, we ain't going over. I can tell you that. I got the secret for all of that. The same way I gained it, the same way I can lose. So,
but no, it's good.
You know what?
Congratulations. Go ahead, Pat.
No, but you know, keep in mind, it's also your hair. Your hair can have impact on how you look. Your hair, if you pull your hair back, it can kind of make you look thinner. If you have it full, you look more full. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that has some impact as well.
Yeah, there's so many ways that you can adjust your look, you know, and how you're perceived in reference to what you need for a particular role. You know, and what they need you to look like. So again, you're going to make adjustments. And I know, Kathy, you have been deadhead into your career, and you have really been doing a great job. We see you, and we're proud of you, and we're going to continue to succeed and excel in all of your endeavors that you're going to be doing in the movie scenes and commercials. So that's good, Kathy. We really are proud of you. You deserve it, girl.
Oh, thank you. Well, we'll always say a dream delayed is not a dream denied. So if you have a dream, whatever it is, go for it.
Yes.
Look what Jamila said.
Jamila, I finally take it, but I don't want to do surgery. You will not be seeing me look like, what's that girl named Kim? What was up with her on beauty? But anyway, we not know gossip, but no. Look, I'm gonna gain this thing. Yes.
Yeah, but it's great
Jamila,
stuff.
Always looking out for a sister. Thank you. I'll take some.
No, but you know, it's time. It is time for us to do whatever it is we feel that it's going to get us to feel a way of positivity in our lives. It's just time. This is nothing that we just started doing. We've been doing. It's just time when things start to come into fruition in our lives, and it becomes, you know, when God's timing is His timing. So hey, we got to know when your timing is right. Step on in there. So
what you doing by me? Wait a minute. What you doing? What you been up to?
Yeah, what you doing, Mom? Tell us about Greece.
We don't have enough time. We don't have enough time.
We do have enough time. What are you doing? What you do this week?
No, I know, but no, it's like I said, a lot of things, and it's great stuff. And like, we're going to show the hot picks in a minute. We're going to talk about Greece. We're in production for that. And there's some other things that are going on, but sometimes you just want to see things kind of move in a direction.
Yeah.
And when it pops and it's like, okay, guys, this is what is happening. I've shared with you all some things, and due time, I definitely want to make sure that you all are well aware. But for now, we are doing a production. We're going to talk about Greece and some other things that are going on. But I just want to enjoy my summer. I want to enjoy life, and I think that's what we should do. Just start enjoying life. Do whatever it is you want to do. If it is something that's going to make you happy, guys, let's do it.
Yeah.
Don't hesitate if you don't have to. Get out there and make things happen, and it's time. So that's my word for today. Make it happen. Just make it happen.
Bring joy to your life. That's all
just
you
joy.
do.
Bring a smile.
Well, the Sisters of Sisters Network have brought a smile to my face, because I do see them, whether we're young or, getting up past our 70s and 80s. You ladies have just been my inspiration. And that's healthy to see. We come here every week for an hour just to chat, but I see you guys on Facebook, and I just want them to know that I see them, and you are an inspiration.
Same here.
Yeah, a lot of the ladies are.
For the little, I don't care if you think it's the little things you do, like having that grandbaby or overcoming a certain illness or getting that new house, whatever it is, it's still an inspiration to see you keep moving, because so many people give up and they again. So I just want to say thank you to my sisters in this organization for what you're doing.
Yeah,
absolutely
beautiful.
So we're going to move right along here, because we do have a topic that, of course, this is the first Saturday of the month, and every first Saturday, we talk about a topic that we really don't care to discuss, but we must continue to talk about it because it's still happening at this time in our lives, in our community, in this world. In every area, it is still going on, and we're talking about domestic violence. And we have an awesome guest that we're going to be sharing with momentarily, because she's going to come on and tell us just so many things that we're going to know about her. We know who she is, we know what she's gone through, but we really want others to know. We want others to come in and be a part of this conversation. Call your people out there, guys, because this guest we have today has a story that's going to blow your mind.
Yes.
I promise you. So just start making those calls, join us, like our page, share, let everyone know to please come on, because this is a very sincere topic that we have every first Saturday of the month on 4Sisters Live. We bring you the best of the best as we can. Even on second Saturday, it's our health and wellness that's headed up by Linda. We have third Saturdays, we talk about education and mentoring, which is headed up by Charlene. And we have on fourth Saturdays, we have entrepreneurship, which is headed up by Peggy. And we have a fifth Saturday for our youth that's designated for our youth in the community, that's headed up by our production manager, Dante. So again, we want you all to come on, because now we're trying to say everything that we're doing this time moving forward is about voting, and everything we talk about on this platform makes an impact in your vote. For those who are going to take care of all of these subject matters, your health, the voters out there talking about a candidate who's going to talk about your health, a candidate who's going to talk about your education, a candidate that's going to help you to talk about your finances and what you need to do. All of these areas are important for our lives so we can live. We have to live. So this is where we are, and this is what our platform is made of. I'm so happy to be a part of what Peggy, and she's such an illustrious leader, and she's making sure that, we all are engaged. And that's what they say, women helping women to connect.
To connect.
Yeah. Can I say one thing? For the people, our listening audience out there, I really want them to get on. And I want you to think about a lady or even a man that is going through right now, and it may be an illness, it may be something they feel like they're stuck in, and they're very depressed, because of their illness or their diagnosis. They need to be on the show today, because this lady is going to bless you, and they're going to thank you for inviting them, because she is my inspiration. Every time I hear her or see her,
too.
Please, I'm telling you, invite someone. They're going to thank you. Do me a favor, go invite them, send this link to them, because when she comes on, you're going to be like, whoa, I wish I would have invited whoever that person is. But go invite them right now, because someone needs to hear this testimony that you can overcome, that you don't have to play that. You ain't got to play dead. You ain't got to give up because of the diagnosis. You don't have to give up because of the pain or the situation. So please go invite someone.
And before we do that, we're going to get and take care of some other business, and we'll get right into our guests. But we do have, like we said, we're celebrating the new appointed, confirmed female judge of Ketanji Brown Jackson. Definitely salute her and loving up on this sister to make a difference in our Supreme Court. And also during this time, we are celebrating what we call the 4th of July. That it's Independence Day. Happy Independence Day.
Yes, it's here.
It's here.
Happy Independence Day. I celebrate
celebrating all those out there who's going to please just stay safe during this season, during this time. And Peggy, do we have birthdays that we want to talk about? Anybody?
But first, I want us to salute all of the sisters and Sisters for Sisters Network. We are actually celebrating 20 years.
Yay! 20 years.
We are celebrating. You know what? I am totally in shock because I'm still trying to figure out. I don't know what happened to the 5th, 10th, 15th.
But Peggy,
here we are 20 years later. And so I just want to say thanks to every sister who has crossed our path, whether or not you're with us or not. But first, I want to really, because I have Kathy. Kathy is considered as a legacy member because Kathy was there, I think, maybe the first or second year. When we started out. And actually, I met Kathy at the PAL Networking Conference, where all of this comes from. Okay, this is where it was birthed. And so, Kathy, I salute you, my sister, because you're right there with us.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know what I say, when you know something's good, you're going to stick with it. So 20 plus years later, well, not 20 plus, but, here I am, and I'm not going anywhere because this is the organization that really helps women to connect. And it's an organization that has a great womanhood, great sisterhood. So I hope a lot of people that are listening in that haven't joined yet will come on aboard or go visit the website, www.sisterforsistersnetwork.org, and take a look at the organization.
There you go. Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about.
So who's celebrating a birthday?
You know what? July 1st was our sister Susan Petty.
Yes.
Celebrated her birthday. Yes. And then we also have Jackie Thompson will be celebrating on July the 9th. Jackie is the owner of the Overdue Recognition Art Gallery.
Yes.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, happy birthday to all of those who are celebrating a birthday, and may you live long, live strong.
Yes,
absolutely.
Indeed. Yes, indeed.
So I know we have some things happening in the community. What's going on, Peggy? What's going on in the community?
Let's see. We are having some good stuff that's happening in the community. Here's one. It's not until August 20th, but this is a women's conference. It's a women empowerment brunch that is scheduled for August 20th. It's on a Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. As you can see, the information is there for you to register. It must be requesting you to sign up. So check out the website. This is the Bi-County Business Roundtable. If you are a business owner or inspired to start your own business, you need to be in the room. I always say that. You have to be in the room. This is part of what we do in our partnership with the Bi-County Business Roundtable. It's Monday, July 18th from 9 to 11. And it's going to be at the Homewood Suites in Largo, Maryland. So you can go to bcbroundtable.com and check out the website.
All righty then.
Okay. And I think, here's another one. Crisis in the Black Community Conference. This conference is going to be held at Morgan State University, July 8th and the 9th. I'm definitely going to attend. We need to represent. We got to represent our community. So I suggest that if you can attend, come on and join us.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Crisis in the Black community.
This is yours, why?
Yeah, DC Black Broadway is presenting Grease with a side of mumbo sauce. Anybody know about that mumbo sauce?
Oh my goodness, yes.
And I think we have some ladies, a group of ladies that will get together. Kathy, she's heading that up for me. She got some ladies I know that want to come out on the opening night, the premiere night, that is the debut night of August 26th. It is going to be awesome. We have a cast that is really working hard, and this is a full musical, and it's definitely giving pledge and honor and recognition to our Black community relative to Go-Go. If y'all know about Go-Go, it's
yes,
in Washington, D.C., and we got a lot of history surrounding this entire play. But Grease, if you know about Grease, you've seen the movie Grease, but we're just splashing it on with a little mumbo sauce to it. It's going to be awesome at the Bethesda Blues and Jazz in Bethesda, Maryland, all those BBJ. But go to bbjlive.com to get your tickets, and we'll see you there. Absolutely. Thank you. So, yeah, Peg.
Yeah, this one is our annual Power Networking Conference. It will be in Houston, Texas, August 3rd through the 6th. And definitely I will be in the room to represent all of Sisters for Sisters Network Incorporated. I wish I could put all y'all guys in one bag and we all could show up. And it will happen one day. But excited about this.
Nice. Yeah.
Yes.
You have so many people. Look like more people have been added on this platform than before.
Oh, it's another flyer with additional folks. So
this is awesome. People from all over the world coming to this conference. So it's awesome in itself. So yeah,
Kathy knows about it. She's experienced it many times.
Yeah, I have. It's amazing. And I just want to mention to you guys another free activity here in the Washington, D.C. area that's leaving on July 17th. And it's called Afro-Atlantic Histories. And it's all about the African experience, the Black experience, crossing Africa and Europe as well. And it's at the West Building of the National Gallery. It's National Art Gallery. So if you all get a chance, come and look at our history from all over, from, Brazil, Africa, the United States, 130 powerful sculptures and portraits representing our experience. So come on to that, and it's free.
I've seen it. It's beautiful. I've been there. I took Noelle, my granddaughter. Yeah, me and Ron. Beautiful. Yes.
Yeah. Definitely. Thanks for that, Kathy, because we need to know about these things and let others know about what's happening for our community, in our community, in that respect. So thank you for sharing that. So now I want to again move forward because we definitely want to get our guest in. And ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring in someone who we love and so near and dear to our heart. She is a sister of ours. She's no stranger, but we're going to have her to come and introduce herself because we want to begin to hear her compelling story as it relates to what she's been through. In this topic today that we're speaking on is domestic violence. Welcome to our show. Let's bring in Dr. Unnia Pettis. Unnia.
Oh, it's good to be with you all again. Thank you so much.
Welcome.
Happy Saturday to you and happy 20th anniversary to the 4Sisters Network. Sister Peggy, you do remarkable work, and we thank you for your leadership and your vision.
Honey, it's nothing but teamwork. I could not do what I'm doing without the support of each one of these ladies here.
Amen.
Absolutely.
And you.
You have been doing, we've been watching and seeing you and how you have been inspiring to so many of us.
Yeah.
I know you know, but we just want to tell you, we take our hats and we just salute you. I haven't. I know there's a lot going on, Dr. Unnia, as it relates to domestic violence. But I met you with one of our sisters, Jennifer Foxworth. I'll never forget it. I will remember this for the rest of my life, that you brought a story to this conference, the Unstoppable You Conference. I want to say a little over 4 years now. And I was related to my stage play because I know when I had the vision to do it, I have a scene that relates to a woman that's in church.
Right.
She's a first lady.
Mm-hmm.
She was abused by her pastor.
Mm-hmm.
She was beaten by her pastor, but the first lady of the church had to always go and smile before everybody. She had to pretend that all was well, that nothing was wrong in her Christian walk, and that her and her marriage was the best.
Right.
And this is the facade that the first lady of this church, which I presented in my production, this scenario.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when I saw you at Jennifer's event,
Mm-hmm.
and you got on stage and you talked about domestic violence, you spoke about every piece of my scene that was your life.
Yes.
I almost fell out my chair.
Literally.
God, what are you doing?
Without knowing you or the play.
Haven't even talked to you. Didn't
haven't
even know
ever
you.
talked to you.
Never.
Yeah.
And this is today, I want to take this time for you to give a little snippet of what I'm talking about, because the life you led from that point moving forward, even probably before then, but now moving forward, I want them out there to know and understand is domestic violence has no preference of who it hits, hurts, kill, and all destroy your life. Absolutely. It doesn't matter. It doesn't discriminate at all. So when you talked about it from the perspective of your life as a preacher, a pastor's wife, it blew my mind, because no one would think, oh, they got it all good. The woman in the church, who does that? What husband is going to abuse her? What husband is going to take advantage of her? What husband is going to do these things to make her feel bad? She should always be uplifted and helping. However, unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way.
Right. I remember that occasion like yesterday. I did my presentation, and when I came, it was a standing ovation to my surprise. And I was still crying, and I went to the restroom, and you and another lady, I don't know who you were with, and you grabbed me and you said, you don't realize I told your story in my play, and you said, we've got to connect. And I'm just so grateful to God that you had confirmation. What God had put in your heart before you wrote it was a real story. Unfortunately, there's so many women suffering in silence. And as you said, domestic violence doesn't discriminate. No race, no creed, no color, no ethnicity, no socioeconomic class. But just briefly, first, I want to give honor to God. And second, I want to introduce myself. I'm Reverend Dr Nia Pettis. I'm based in Washington, D.C. I'm the founder and CEO of Nobody But God Ministries and Pettus PR. The ministry of Nobody But God started 4 years after my divorce from my ex-husband, who was in a pastoral role. And to make my story a little bit more interesting than a lot of people, I was also in the ministry. So I was sitting by him in the pulpit after our first year. And we dated for about a year and a half. We met as colleagues for people in DC would know then DC Mayor Sharon Pratt Dixon. I was her deputy spokesperson, then her principal spokesperson, and he was doing faith outreach and policy work. So of course I didn't date him while we were working together, but once we lost the election, I was at a party just deep in my sorrows and feelings. And a girlfriend of ours, who's a girlfriend of his, said he kind of, he likes you and he wants to ask you out. Well, I'm thinking about how to get a job. I didn't care about a date. But long story short, he charmed his way into my life. We dated. He was a wonderful boyfriend. He was acting as a pastor for a gentleman who was retiring. He was still the senior pastor, but he was sick. So my then boyfriend was filling in, doing Bible studies, the baptisms, things that the pastor couldn't do. And then eventually, because the church loved him, he became even more popular and was pretty much there all the time, again, acting on behalf of the pastor. And so we dated. I didn't want to date a minister. I was saved, of course, loved the Lord, filled with his spirit. But I did not want to be stuck with someone who was just going to talk about Jesus 24/7 and quote scriptures. At least that's what I thought they would do. He wasn't like that. We had fun. We listened to different types of music. We had a lot of great moments. The only negative that was occurring was after our second date, he had kidney failure. And so it was because of high blood pressure and a genetic disorder. So he was only 27 and it was devastating to him. I was 25. And I told him, you know, I've still got your back. You know, we're still together. God's going to heal you. I was his champion and I was determined to have faith for him. So we dated for a year and a half. He proposed. We went to a year of marital counseling. This is very significant because some people, when they hear my story, they're like, well, did you have marital counseling? Well, this is very important. When you have marital counseling, don't have a biased marital counselor. The person who was our marital counselor was his pastor at the church where he was a member of before he was going to fully join the new church. So he was also his boss because he worked for the church. So this was not a neutral third party. If this neutral third party had, if he had been a neutral third party, then I think he or she, as our counselor, would have been able to dive deeper into some conversations about anger and how do you deal when things aren't going well and all those kind of things. This person totally focused on me being a future first lady. They were giving me scriptures, telling me what I had to do, how I had to wear hats, and how I always had to have the public facade, how I could never let people know what was going on behind closed doors because church people can be nosy and intrusive. You have to always represent Christ and this certain image. So it was really about Unnia. These are all the things you need to know simply because I didn't come from a home where my mom and father were married. He did. I came from a single parent home and I grew up in the projects. So they were looking at me like I was a fixer-upper. And that's the way the counseling session went. So move ahead to the wedding date. That's when the first sign of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde occurred. It's the first time I heard him curse, yell at me. He locked me out of our wedding suite because he said that my wedding dress was too sexy. I looked too good. He was very upset because skin was showing. It was enough skin from here to here. I had gloves on. He didn't want any skin showing. And I'm looking at him and I'm crying and I'm trying to reason with him because I'm out in the hallway crying. He's locked me out the door. We're at our primary hotel where the other relatives are. I didn't want anyone seeing me. So I ran downstairs to the concierge desk, asked for another hotel room. She gave me the key and I begged with him. I called his room all night long. I'm like, babe, what did I do? What did I do? And he was just like, just be back here at 4:00 because we're going to morning service. That wasn't even in our plans. We were focusing on going to our honeymoon, but he wanted to go back to church to show off me as his bride. And, you know, that's when I really made the first mistake because when he was cursing at me, locked me out of my honeymoon suite, I didn't even spend my honeymoon night with my husband. That was like bump, bump, bump. I should have realized, girl, this is not right. You need to call your mother or a pastor friend and find out what's going on with him because this is not a person that you thought you were going to marry. So we went along, we went to the Bahamas for a honeymoon. It was absolutely horrible. He didn't engage with me at all, except we went on two events, like two sightseeing events. And he still yelled at me. He cursed at me. He continually used the Bible and quoted scriptures at me. The one that he famously quoted over and over was Ephesians 22-24. And its wives, submit yourselves unto your own husbands as unto the Lord. And he said, now that I've married you, you're my property and you are required to be submissive. And I'm going to teach you how to be a good husband, a good wife to me. And so the verbal emotional abuse continued for the first 2 years. He was on dialysis. I kept thinking, okay, Lord, as long as he gets his kidney, when he gets his kidney, he's going to be better because he was really angry with God. He couldn't stand up in the pulpit and say that, of course, because you can't be human. You know, people don't allow you to be transparent sometimes in church. But he was angry with God. And he said the reason why he married me were for two reasons. He needed a nurse and he needed a first lady. So that's another issue that I want to point out in these churches, and I hope that ministers and pastors and search committees are listening, and I need you to really chime in here and talk back to me, because a lot of you know this to be true. When people are joining churches and they want a pastor, a lot of times they want them to be married. You know, they want them to have the perfect wife, 2.5 kids, the white picket fence. He wasn't ready to be a husband. And if he had not been forced, because, you know, he wanted to be a pastor, we would go to other churches where he was candidating, including the one where he ultimately became a pastor for a very long time. And he used me as a part of the tour. They asked me questions. I was intelligent, articulate. I told them I was going to be starting my doctoral program a week after our honeymoon. And I also told them I was, you know, the Lord had called me into ministry. And per my husband, he wanted to wait until after our first year anniversary. And then I was licensed into the ministry. So again, I'm sitting in the pulpit next to this person who's verbally and emotionally abusing me. And I never told anyone. Well, the third year, after he got his kidney, then he had the strength to beat me. So that's when the broken ribs started, the broken toes, the bruising, the black eyes. I would wear a lot of makeup under my eye. My mom said, no one else said anything to me. No one in the church ever pulled me aside and said, Sister Pettis, is something going on? No one ever looked at me in my eyes, realizing I'm wearing shades in the summertime and in the wintertime, and asked me why, because they didn't care. I wasn't the person that was important. The person that's important is the senior leader of that church. I'm dispensable. He can get another wife, but they can't get another person who can be him and be the dynamic pastor and pray for them and be there for the funerals and be there for the baptismals. So that's the way this particular church responded. And everywhere we went, people loved him. He was a leader. He rose very highly in leadership. He was in a very prominent fraternity. He was the chaplain of the fraternity. He became a state associate director for a huge Baptist-oriented denomination. And again, he led as a pastor for a very significant amount of time, and he was very well respected. Everyone thought I was lying. To this day, there's some pastors who don't speak to me. They blaspheme my name. There are women's ministry groups that do the same because they don't believe that I'm telling the truth. The one thing I always tell people is my book came out in 2007. And you know, if I were not telling the truth in my ministry and traveling all over the nation and just speaking my story, never giving his name, not giving the church's name, that kind of information, don't you think I'd be sued by now? Don't you think I'd be in court? Don't you think there'd been another book written to say, no, she's telling a lie? No, because the real story, the true story, the things I can't tell anyone except God, we would be on TMZ Live if I had been taken to court, because it would blow your mind the things that I had to endure. I had to go through 3 affairs with him. We would go to different hospitals, ER rooms, because I had become such a quote frequent flyer that he would have to take me to different ERs when he traumatized me and hurt me. He would also rape me. And I know women say, and the Bible says the bed is undefiled. No man should be doing anything to you where you're left bleeding and you're wounded and being beaten. That's not making love. That's battery. And you do have a right to say no. There is a thing as sexual abuse. And so I was sexually abused as well. It was very, very, very difficult, but I literally suffered in silence. And because I did that, I tried to end my life to get out of the marriage. I gotten a phone call a Tuesday morning from one of his lovers. And the lover said, what do we have to do to get rid of you? Because he wanted me to leave so that he could just be, you know, doing what he's doing, but be like separated and working it out with me. And I was determined I wasn't going to leave. I didn't believe in divorce. No matter what he did to me, he could have shot me. I would not have left and I would not have told. But what I did is I called him and I said, you know, I can't take it anymore. The room went dark. Everything just fell in on me. And I felt life wasn't worth living. I know I couldn't tell my mother. I couldn't tell anyone at the church. I couldn't tell friends or family. I was embarrassed. I had pride about my marriage. I wanted everyone to believe we were June Cleaver. And I just wanted things to be perfect the way we appeared to be, but they weren't. And so I took an overdose of pills and sleeping pills, did a concoction with applesauce, and ended up, he found me. They pumped my stomach. They asked me who was the president. At the time, it was Bill Clinton. They asked me what was I doing for a living. I was a minister, had my own PR firm on the side, and full-time doctoral student. I couldn't even give my name. And the nurse noticed that when they asked me certain questions like, why did you do this? She said, he would keep saying things. And she said, sir, I want her to answer the question, but I was just in and out. And she said, my vitals were going up. So she literally was an angel and said, sir, can you just walk outside? She bent down in my ear and she said, what's going on with you? And I looked at her and don't know why this one person I was honest with. And I said, ma'am, he's been beating me. And I'm scared to death he's going to kill me. And she said, do you have anyone you can call? Now, I couldn't remember my name. Couldn't remember I was in the doctoral program, the name of the church and all of that. But God is so faithful. God allowed me to remember my mother's number. So I called my mother. I said, Mom. She said, yeah, baby. I said, I'm in the emergency room. She thought it was for my husband because he was the one who had the chronic illnesses. And I said, no, Ma, I tried to kill myself. And she screamed. And I said, I'm so sorry. And she said, why would you try to kill yourself? I said, he's been beating me, Mom. He's been hurting me for the last 6 years and I had nobody to tell. She hung that phone up, got in her car, came down Georgia Avenue and met me in that hospital. And when I saw her, I just crumbled. I felt like the biggest failure, the biggest disappointment. But the truth was out and now it was time for healing. So they kept me in the inpatient psychiatric ward for about 2 weeks. They told me I was severely clinically depressed and I was traumatized. I had post-traumatic stress disorder and I filed for separation. I moved in with my mother. I did not go back to the marital home. And he said, let's do counseling. I'm going to change. We'll work it out. So we left the church where we were, went to a new church that he wanted to join to start fresh. I thought everything was going to change. It didn't. He didn't go to counseling. He just wanted the facade to continue because it was this huge church that he was up for. And I helped him get the church. I went there, did everything I could do to help him get it, didn't tell them what he had done to me, nor would I, because I kept saying, God, if you give him this big church and this assignment, he's going to be a better person and he's going to treat me right. But it never stopped. So I filed for divorce. I represented myself and I told the judge what had happened. He told the judge I was a liar and said, Judge, did she tell you she tried to kill herself? She's crazy. So once he told the judge that, the judge looked at me like, why would you lie against this wonderful young man here who's doing the work of the Lord? And he didn't believe me at all. And we got the divorce. So immediately afterwards, God started telling me that I had to share my story. This is in 2003. I'm like, Lord, I'm not sharing this with anybody. I'm teaching at Howard. Don't want my students to know, nor my colleagues. I was teaching then. And then I knew I was about to graduate. I just received an assistant professorship at Bowie State. Surely wasn't going to tell them. Didn't want my students there to know. I'm like, Lord, I'm not doing that. You got to give me something else to do. But I can't tell anyone my deepest, darkest secrets. And he said, the reason why you've gone through this is for you to help free others and to save others. And so he just kept telling me, you have to tell it. You have to tell it. And after 2 or 3 years of running, I succumbed and I said, okay, Lord, what would you have me do? And that's when he gave me this book, Nobody But God, A Journey of Faith from Tears to Triumph, and birthed the ministry, Nobody But God Ministries. So for the past 15 years, since the time I opened up the ministry, I help women with free services and counseling, help them safely plan to escape their abusers unless they're in immediate danger, do everything from protective orders, helping the grandparents who are left behind with people who've been killed and they have their kids, just doing whatever I can, going to jails. I went to prisons for a very long time, to Pettus and a DC jail, talking to abusers, because I wanted them to see me and to hear my story and to know that you know that you have to be careful. You can't just use words, because words hurt. Everyone doesn't beat. You can't use emotions. You can't take out your anger and hurt anyone, because your daughters, your sons, they'll see that, and there's a cycle. And so I went to the prisons because I wanted to talk to people who had been locked up for abuse, who had been locked up for using guns or other things, and let them know, this is my face. I don't look like what I've been through, but this is what I've been through. And I tried to kill myself to get out of it.
Dr. Unnia, did you take pictures of your look image of what you had gone through during that period, just to show how you were living that life at that time?
Absolutely not. I was not going to, and I never called the police or anything like that. The bruises and all that, the doctor saw in the ER, but this is significant. He was always by my side. So Wyoming, when we're there, he would be answering the questions for me. And as a victim of domestic abuse, you know how that is. You literally like almost shrink like a little child when you're with the abuser. And so when he was bigger and taller, he was like, Doc, she's clumsy. She bumped into the wall. She fell again. They would talk to him about my injuries. And so they saw the bruises. They saw the broken bones. How can you have perfect symmetry of broken bones on your feet? He would jump on me with steel-toed Timberland boots. How would you have perfectly broken toes? How do you do that? A doctor should have questioned that.
That seemed like he definitely wanted you to be in a position
where I couldn't go to church and I couldn't finish my degree, all of that.
Yes, he wanted to stop you from living the life that you were purposely supposed to live. Yes. Charlene, I want to give the ladies an opportunity to the time that we have left to ask you a question, because you said so much of great things about your life and what you've gone through. Now to see you, that God has brought you through where you are now, all in pearls and looking wonderful, of course.
Thank you.
I want to give the ladies an opportunity to ask you a question.
Okay.
Anyone? Charlene, Peggy, come off of mute, please.
Yeah. I really want to applaud you because you took us on a journey.
Yes.
Through Facebook, of all that you went through, the ins and out of being in the hospital. Again, and I mean, because you really allowed us to see who you really are.
Yes.
In the state that you were in.
Yes.
And to see you today, I praise you, my sister. You are simply gorgeous.
Yeah.
I'll just briefly say, if anyone's out there, I'm writing my book, Overcomer. And I just want you to know, in addition to being domestic violence survivor, Sister Peggy, thank you. I've survived 4 cancers. So I don't know who I'm talking to, but I've colon cancer stage 4 in 2004. And in the last 3.5 years, I've gone through 3 different cancers, gynecologic cancer, breast cancer, and kidney cancer. I've been in the hospice and I've been in nursing homes. And I've been told that I'm going to die. I've been told that so many times that it doesn't even sting like it used to, because I know I'm just here because of God. So anyone who's out there listening, I want you to know that you have to have faith in yourself and faith in God. Never give up, never give in. And understand that your temporary circumstance is not your permanent conclusion. And so whatever storm you're in is temporary. And Psalm 35 says, weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning. Well, my night season has been 17 plus years of dealing with cancer, and it's genetic. I didn't choose my father and the genetic tree. They're all dead. And I just have my mom, who's been my caregiver. But in addition to 4 cancers, I've had a stroke and been paralyzed in a wheelchair for over 1.5 years. From 2012 to 2013, but I still worked on the Obama campaign in my wheelchair. So I want you to also be encouraged that no matter what storm you're going through, no matter what trial that you're facing, God wants to know, can he use you at your weakest? Because when you're at your weakest, you're actually at your strongest if you walk in it in him. So I don't look like what I've been through, because I'm like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. I'm in the fire, but God is here with me. I have scars all over my body. I've had a double mastectomy. I've had more scars and things removed from my body. I'm single. I wish I was married, but nobody wants to date somebody who's gone through all of this. But that's okay. It's their loss, because my Boaz is still out there, I believe. And I believe there's somebody who will love me with my scars in and out. I believe there's somebody who will treat me like the queen that I am. And I don't want you to give up on life. I don't want you to stay in a domestic abuse relationship. I don't want you to stay in poverty, in pity, and self, just thinking of yourself as being less than. Because God created you marvelously and fearlessly. And I love you. And if you don't believe anything else that I've said, know that if you stick with God, God will stick with you.
Yes, amen.
Well, Charlene, what you have? I know Charlene is like, ooh, Lord have mercy.
It's a lot. I mean, we can have our double time on here. One to talk about the domestic abuse, but the other part about her health. And we can go into.
And let me just say something else about health, because we have a lot of Christian folks. There's so many people, guys, that have come to me to give me scriptures to tell me it's something I must have done or something that I might be doing. And there are people who said they were going to be there and left. Family members, friends, all that kind of thing. But I remember something that the 4 Sisters Network did for me. And I remember you guys collected money and gave to my GoFundMe. And the reason why I had to have a GoFundMe, as a self-employed person, I couldn't work. And I have health care, let's be clear, but that only pays 80%. People don't realize the other 20% you have to pay. And the bills piled up. So I thank you guys for loving on me enough to care to donate. I thank you for having me on your show as a return guest. I count it an honor. It's a privilege.
Well, we love you, Dr. Unnia.
We love you, girl. It's a privilege.
We really do love you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And to the person who's out there grieving, and the person who's out there wanting to give up, the person who's even suicidal right now, I want you to, you can reach me. You can just email me through at Dr. Unnia at UnniaPettis.com, or you can go to my website at UnniaPettis.com. I want you to reach out. Help is here. You are not alone.
And definitely for our young girls, and I know, Charlene, I want you to say something briefly. We got about 2-3 minutes left, but say what you need to say, because we definitely have a platform for our young girls as well. Go ahead, Charlene.
Yes, Dr. Nia, we need someone out there to know some tips, educate them on how, if they are in a domestic violence situation, give them some tips on how to overcome it.
Okay, quickly, I'll give you 5 quick tips. The first thing I did was forgive. I forgave myself and my abuser. You can't move on and get your strength if you're still holding on to grudge and hate. God can't use you if you're not clean. The second thing I had to do was forego. I cut all ties. You cannot hang around the same people who you're trying to get detached from and think you're going to be set free. So we had mutual friends. I had to cut them. They had to choose a side, he or me, because I wasn't going to allow myself to be re-abused and re-victimized by listening to them saying, oh my God, you must be lying. Why did you divorce him? Third, fortified. I kept myself in the word of God. I fortified myself with affirmations. I exercised. I did self-care. 4, faith. You know it. You got to have faith in God. Hebrews 11:1 says, without faith, it's impossible to please God. The last is fly. So the first is forgive. Second, forego. Third, fortify yourself with positivity, the word of God, affirmations. 4, faith. And the 5th, fly. I had to be like an eagle and said, I'm not a pigeon and I'm not a chicken. I'm an eagle. I'm strong. I'm an endangered species. And Isaiah 40:31 says, but they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up upon wings like an eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint.
And that is an awesome thing. And that is something that we're going to leave with on today. Kathy, did you have anything that you would like to add?
I just wanted to ask her what happened to him. Does he still bother you? Does he still try to get into your life, or what's happened with him after all this?
Yeah, until the moment that he transitioned a few years ago, I still have restraining orders, obviously, and targeted. And unfortunately, even though he's deceased, I still am going through abuse. So they have family members and friends who are still doing everything they can to try to shut me up. But I won't be shut up because God is using me as a mouthpiece to encourage, to inspire, and to empower.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Unnia, for coming on and blessing us with your story.
Thank you so much for having me. I love you all so much.
We love you too.
Love you. Thank you so much. And you continue to stay strong as you are and giving all you give to us women so that we can always walk in the faith walk that we need to survive this life.
Keep me in your prayers. I'll keep praying for you as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Absolutely. Well, guys, that was quick, but next week, guys, and join us on tomorrow, Power 901.
No.
Yes.
Charlene, Peggy, Kathy, this woman and other women. Can you imagine other women that are going through similar situations? Not even a Christian woman per se, but just being a woman that lived a life like this it's heart-wrenching.
But what about the little 20-year-old girl that was stolen her 3-month-old baby in the stroller, and her ex-boyfriend who had abused her, shot her in her head
in New York? I know. I saw that. And so many of these stories, guys, there's so many we can't even talk about them. It's so many of these stories, and women stay. Women, you see, she said 6 years she stayed with him. Women stay in abuse because it's just something that we as women, we have this nurturing.
Let's protect them and let them keep looking better. Backfires on us and make us look like the liar when we do come out, and nobody believes us. So been there, done that, but I'm so glad she's sharing that. Sooner and tell sooner. Write down and document everything. Wow.
You know what? I totally had forgotten about the fact that we had made a contribution. I remember. And so you never know how blessed we are.
Well, we are blessing
that we're not in that situation.
We are blessed to be a blessing. And this is when women need us, because they still financially need to make it happen and do what they need to do. Like in her case, purchase medicine. In other cases, people may need food. They may need shelter. They need so much. So when we have this organization and this platform, we're going to always talk about it as many times as we can, and just continue to bless others to know that we're here, just keeping it alive, keeping this conversation alive and in the front of people's positions, to know that here we are making a difference ourselves in any way that we can. So ladies, we have next week our
education.
Who we have next week, I think we have someone, Linda has a guest. And it's going to be a nice guest that we're going to have on as well to talk about our health and wellness. So, Charlene, did you have anything else you want to say? Because the time is run. Peggy, Kathy,
I just want to thank all the sisters who tuned in today. I mean, this is a blessing to have conversation. Although they're shouting it out in the chat, we want to thank you for just taking the time to spend and to learn something new.
And I want to say that it's a blessing for me, because actually, I'm getting emotional, but it was the first time that I was on the radio show, when Dr. Pettis was on, the very first time. And she impressed me with her grace. And I remember the GoFundMe that we did for her. Beautiful. And then here I am back again. And she's
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
So this has been a great time, and she's been a blessing as always, but you all as well, and love you so much as always again. Thank you guys for watching, but it's been a great time. What time is it?
It's time for you
to walk in your
purpose and prosperity.
Woo. Guys, see you next week. We're out.
Okay. Thank you, guys. It was so nice. I enjoyed it.
Good to see you, Kat.
Good to see you all, too. Good to see you all, too.
Thank you for gracing us.
Oh, you're welcome, dear.